What's up, faithful? We're finally back. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving holiday. I hope everybody had a good weekend, but we are finally back. It's game day. I know I took a lot of days off here. Haven't been live. I got pretty sick, not gonna lie. And then the holidays came. I just took it easy. So kind of laid low. Haven't really been doing much posting and social media stuff. So good to be back. Good to see game day again. I'm hyped up. The Niners and the Saints. I didn't even get to do a preview show this week because I was just sick and out of it. But we got a game today. We're going to talk about the game. Before we, you know what, it's crazy because I actually going to talk about Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson before we jump into the game day kind of stuff. And that's not like information until next week, right? We're not even worried about Miami, but is some crazy stuff. So Tyler Dune from Bleacher Report. Let me pull up this article. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Uh, Jeff Wilson Jr. and Raheem Mostert, specifically Raheem Mostert, talking some stuff about the Niners. Like they had an interview, and he wrote a big article about the 49ers and former players, Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. So we're going to talk about that. I was a little irritated with this. So there's everybody in the chat. What's up? What's good, Hurricane? What's up, Raphael? What's up, Steven Reynolds? What's up, man? The Niners and Dolphins are going to be a dog. That's going to be a fight. It's crazy because I want to talk about the Saints game today. But real quick, let's talk about this because there's some drama out there. So, again, Tyler Dune, he wrote this article. He says, this is one of the quotes, right, from the article. It says, and this is Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. This is one of the quotes. We have better talent here. It's going to get spooky, right? And then there's another quote. It says, we have a quarterback who can actually sling it. Yo, they're taking shots to Jimmy G. They're talking shots to Jimmy G, saying we got a quarterback who could actually sling it. And then there's more like actual like quotes from Raheem Mostert and stuff. So this is the whole Mostert part. He goes, he was talking about teams putting pressure on players to see their long-term health aside and hurry back is more common than we realize. So basically, he was talking about how players are rushed back to injury. Obviously, we know Raheem was always hurt during the time with the Niners, but they gave him the opportunity. He got, cut from so many teams. The Niners finally took a chance on him, and they made him a pretty damn good running back. And then he got mad because he did get hurt, and he says that the team basically was trying to push him into injury. And then remember that last year of the team, he basically said, no, I'm shutting down my season. I'm going to focus on rehab. And he goes, he says that he believes the Niners used his decision against him. He goes, they definitely did. I moved on from the situation. I have the opportunity, basically, and he went to the Dolphins because he was mad with the Niners. But it's funny because now he's throwing this in the face of the 49ers. And I think it's kind of silly because this was the same guy who was dramatic and crying over a contract. He went to social media saying, I need a better contract. After having a good season, I need a better contract. I need a better contract. Then he got fucking hurt. So, yeah, the team wants you to play, bro. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you can't sit here and come at a team for wanting you to play when you cried about a contract, bro. Like, I stood up for Raheem, but he took shots on the fucking Niners. This is going to be a bloodbath, man. That's kind of disgusting, man. And then, Jeff Wilson, he knew it was a business. He goes, they had to make a business decision. I had to make a business decision. There's love and relationships out there, but at the end of the day, it comes down to business. People are going to do what they've got to do. That's what it was with both parties. No hard feelings. I could have gone the other way a year ago. I probably wouldn't have said anything. I just kept my mouth shut and took it. Just like they spoke out about that, I can do the same. He goes, even a blind man can see what we're doing. They're still a great team. I'm not taking anything away from the 49ers. They're one of the best teams in the league. I've been around them. I've practiced with the players. But at the end of the day, you've got to do what's best for you. I've got a family to feed. I'm the first person to make in my family, so I've got to do what's best for me. At the end of the day, I'm not mad at what Jeff Wilson said. I think he handled it very well. He said it was business. He knew he wasn't going to get the touches, and he has a family to feed. So I respect Jeff Wilson for what he says. But I got no fucking respect for what Raheem Mostert said, man. This man literally cried about a contract. I remember that. His agent, I remember the tweet, broke the internet. He tweets about it. I'm not coming back to the Niners. They need to pay me. And then they extended him and gave him a contract, incentive contract. And if you want to earn your money, go play. He gets hurt. I'm done for a season. Shut him down. Whoo! Crazy shit. So welcome back, everybody. How are we doing? That's a way to come back to the live stream, right? What a way to kick off the show. Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson dropping their feelings after they left, man. They finally got it out their chest. I can't wait for the Miami game. But first, before we get to Miami, we got to talk about the Saints, man. How the hell is everybody feeling? Let's go. I can't wait. Steven says Wilson was always professional. I do. I agree with that. Wilson has been very professional. He handled that very good. Michelle, what's up? Noah says Niners made Raheem. He was nothing without us. I mean, sad Niners fan says the Niners made that dude's career. He should be grateful. I agree. Like, they gave this man the chance of a lifetime. Every team cut this man from this team. And I know he worked hard, and I give Raheem a lot of credit for all the work he did. But yo, you cannot sit there and talk trash about your previous employer when they gave him every opportunity. They gave Raheem every opportunity he could to go out there and be successful. But you know what? They acting like they're like a CMC type player at the end of the day. Like, you're not a superstar player. I'm sorry. You're good players, but you're not superstars. My man in the chat, X92 says, I'd take McCaffrey over those two any day. 100%, man. 100%. Oh, my God, man. I'm hyped for fucking Miami now after reading that article. The man got me juiced up. But, hey, let's talk about the Saints. Are you guys ready? Drop some predictions in the chat. I think this is a big matchup. It could be a trap game because the Niners have the Dolphins, right, that we're just talking about ahead after this game. It's a short week. You just had a big win on Monday Night Football against the Cardinals in Mexico. A lot of travel. You had Thanksgiving holiday. How much did you really practice? It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a tough game to start, but I expect the Niners to come out and play a complete game like they have been. I feel like they're going to come out and win this game. I think they're going to win it pretty handedly. It may not be easy to start. I think they're going to get some turnovers. Andy Dalton's a turnover machine. I'm not scared of him. Kamara's good. Olave is good. They got some good weapons. They have some decent defensive players. I think Lattimore's out, so that's going to hurt them. I feel like the Niners are just going to make more plays. They're going to run the ball. That's the key. The Niners have CMC and Elijah Mitchell, two really good running backs in the backfield, and they're going to pound the ball down their throats. Good news for Deebo Samuel, who was limited with a hamstring injury all week. He's going to play most likely, according to Rappaport, last night's report. I went to sleep early. I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up this morning. I see the tweet. I'm like, oh, okay. I got to post the update. I missed it last night. But, hey, it is what it is. We still got the news out there. Deebo Samuel will be playing today with the hamstring issue. He might be on a pitch count. He might be limited. But it is something that they can use as a decoy. You got CMC. And with Deebo Samuel being, somewhat limited here with the hamstring injury, let's go Brandon Ayuk. I think he has another monster game. I've been calling him every week. I said, hey, he's going to get a touchdown. I think Brandon Ayuk has another big game today. Touchdown, 2 maybe. At least a touchdown this week. I think he finally goes for 100. I think Kittle's going to continue to cook, man. Jimmy really has started to feel Kittle over that middle right there, especially with CMC out there, in the flats and getting those little bubble screens and those dump-off passes. I feel like that's going to be the key again is let's get CMC those little check downs, open it up. BA will be open. He's going to be cooking defenders. And then you got Kittle, man, right over the middle, just cooking those linebackers. So I think Kittle has a nice game. I think Ayuk has a nice game. Elijah Mitchell's probably going to run hard. CMC is going to do his thing. It's just too much talent. There's just too much offense on this team. Even if Deebo doesn't play a lot today, there's just too much talent. I think the Niners are going to win 31-13. I don't see the Saints really doing much to this defense either. Nick Bosa's really been kind of revving up. I think he gets 2 sacks. Fred Warner, man's been playing at a very high level. It's insane how hard he's been playing. And Greenlaw and Azeez Al-Shahir, these guys have been playing like crazy. Mooney Ward's been playing good. Diameter Lenore, I think those 2 guys are going to be very good in the secondary. They'll have their hands full with Chris Olave. He might get his in the early part of the game, but I think the Niners are going to get a turnover, at least 1 turnover. I think my boy Andy Dalton's going to throw a pick. So I definitely see the Niners taking this one, 31-13. You got to get pressure on Dalton. You got to make him uncomfortable. That's the key to this game. You got to run the ball. That's the Niner football, right? Bully ball, pound it down their throats. I think that's what's going to happen. Honestly, rest Debo. We need him for Miami. I don't think they're going to rest him. I think they're going to use him as a decoy. Triple gun. Yeah, the update on Debo is that he is playing today. Let's see, 31-14. We got lock up Olave and we set. Yeah, I think Olave is their biggest threat. I mean, obviously, if you take them away from the game, I don't. They're kind of limited. They don't really have much out of that. They've had a lot of players get banged up. Michael Thomas. I love Kamara. He's good, but he's not the Kamara of old. Obviously, he'll be a weapon to kind of keep an eye on, but I'm not too worried about having to play up against Kamara. So, yeah, we definitely do need Debo to be healthy for Miami. But again, I think he'll play. They're paying him $71 million a game or a year. A game, that'd be crazy. $71 million, a year. He's got a crazy contract, or 3 years, $71 million, something like that. Yeah, 3 years, $71 million. They're paying the man a lot of money. I don't think he misses this game. Again, he'll probably be limited a little bit, maybe a decoy, but you got to get Debo out there. Should have dumped Eli and kept Wilson, but is what it is. Jarvis playing? Jarvis Landry? He hasn't done much this season. He's been a shell of himself. He's been a very big shell of himself. Jarvis Landry, I don't even know if he's playing. He's been hurt this year. He's been banged up a little bit too. He's got he hasn't done much this year. 21 catches, 238 yards, a touchdown. I'm not too worried about Jarvis Landry. Yeah, again, with Andy Dalton out at quarterback, I'm not too scared of this team. Hurricane says, Raheem saying Tua can sling the football because they got Tyreek Hill. If they didn't get Tyreek Hill, he wouldn't be saying that. That's a big comment too, right? Like, Tyreek Hill changed the course of their offense. Who knows how good Tua would have been without Tyreek? They got two really good receivers out there, right? You got Tyreek and Waddle. Again, I can't wait to talk about this Miami game next week, man. It's gonna be a crazy game. It's gonna be a fun one. But again, the Niners can't be looking ahead like we are. We're looking ahead to Miami. The Niners have to stay focused, stay locked in, and get the job done today. And again, they have to kind of keep running the ball, man. Where did I read the article? Check it out on Twitter. Tyler Dune. I'll give you his name. It's Tyler Dunne. He's a big-time writer, and he writes for Bleacher Report. But he posted his article on Twitter, and it's getting a lot of traction, a lot of buzz. It's one of the first things I saw in the morning. What do you guys think about the Saints? Do you think that they're going to make it competitive? One thing the Niners have to continue to do is stay consistent on offense, right? Kyle Shanahan, the last couple of weeks, he's kind of been in his bag, and he's been out there and been really calling a good game. And I feel you have to keep that consistency up, because the Niners right now, again, they're on a good roll. They started off a little slow, but they have to continue to kind of roll and build off of those last couple of weeks. Because if you just throw a clunker out here, it's going to really stall what you've been building. They've kind of showed a lot more chemistry. And you got to remember, those first few games of the season, it kind of was like preseason. You had Jimmy coming in after Trey got hurt. He really wasn't ready, and he didn't really have much training camp. Debo was hurt a little bit through the season. Kittle was hurt early in the season, right? He had the groin. CMC hadn't even got to the team yet. Elijah Mitchell was out. Brandon Ayuk, he's been consistent because he's been healthy, but it feels like all the pieces haven't been together yet. But now they're finally gelling, so you got to keep this consistency rolling. And you got to talk about Jimmy. He's playing his ass off. It's a career year for Jimmy so far. He's playing his best football. And the thing about Jimmy is, he's got a contract right now to worry about. Contract season. The more his contract, they did the little restructure or extension or whatever they did at the beginning of the season, the little restructure where they changed the numbers. He basically has incentives in there where every time he wins, he gets more money. So it behooves him he has to go out there and win. If he wants more money, go out there and win the game and perform your ass off, because he's also performing for next season. He's auditioning for whatever team he may go to or whatever the case is going to happen. Whether he wins a Super Bowl or not, this is going to be his audition for his last contract, right? He's 31 years old. He's not getting any younger. He's got one more big contract coming, whether it's with the Niners or not. He wants it to be a lucrative contract. So he's playing good football. He has to continue to play good football, stay consistent, limit injuries. I do like what he said on his press conference the other day with Kyle Shanahan. And he says it feels like they're really starting to communicate better. So it always tells me, so what that tells me is, yeah, there was some dissension between Kyle and Jimmy. And obviously, they were going to get rid of this guy for many years. And you can tell they're kind of coming together. They're gelling. I think Kyle trusts Jimmy a little bit more. He's letting him throw the ball push the ball down the field, and Jimmy's having fun out there. And again, with CMC trusts him so much, it's opening everything up because now the defense is like, oh, we got to stop CMC on these little flat plays. And then boom, you got Kittle wide open and Brandon Ayuk, and he's finding Ayuk. So Jimmy has to continue to play the way he's been playing, and he's been playing really good football. So let's get it. Let's go, Miami. 49er bench. So I got my tickets for Miami. Steven says the Saints are not the threat. The short week and potentially overlooking the Saints are the threat. That is that is a good way to spin it. I feel like, again, when we talked about this being potential trap game, it is a short week. They had gone to Mexico, the travel. They didn't practice as much as they probably did. You had Thanksgiving one day. So this team isn't really as, prepared as they may, want to be coming into this game. So it could catch them off a little guard. I think the Saints are going to come out and fire on all cylinders to begin the game. And the thing that's going to help the Niners, though, it is a home game, and they got a lot of home games left. I think they got, 5 home games left. It's good home cooking, man, and that's what we need. We need to continue to make Levi Stadium a powerhouse to play in and make that crowd noise an advantage. And I think that's what's been going on. They've been playing really well. Niner fans travel well, we know, but it's nice to be in a home game and have the roar of the crowd just taking out another team. So I think that's really going to be a key factor here. But I do agree with what you said. The fact that they haven't played, or they're playing on a short week and not a lot of preparation. This could be tough for them, a little bit more tough than, we would imagine and expect. Because if you look at the record, you're like, the Saints are terrible. We should beat them by a lot of points. But it might be a little close early. But again, second half adjustments. How can the 49ers adjust in this game? How can they make these adjustments? That is the key. Because these last couple weeks, the Niners have done very well adapting in the second half, right? They've had shutouts in 3 straight games in the second half on defense, and they've been really clicking on offense. So that's another key, is they have to continue to put up points in the second half. So Taysom Hill. Yeah, you guys talking about Taysom Hill. He is a sneaky player. He is a guy that could give teams fits, but I don't know. I feel like the gig is up. He just doesn't have that shtick that he used to have. Like he used to when he first came in the league and on the Saints, and he was doing his little dual threat thing. I think it caught teams a little bit more off guard. I feel like teams have stopped him a little bit easier. That's just my take on it. But yeah, he is a sneaky guy. He's a weapon. If he gets the ball, he can go out there and run the little option plays. But I feel once he's in the game, people know, okay, Taysom's going to get the ball and run it. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like he's as dangerous as he once was. But he is a guy that you have to keep an eye on a little bit here and there. But I remember, again, I've seen a couple games this year with the Saints, and I feel like every time Taysom's in, I feel like the defense knows, okay, if Taysom's in, they're going to run the ball with him. That's just the vibe I get from it. So let's go. Michelle says she'll be there for the Miami game, Tampa Bay, and Seattle game. Ready for some football. Let's go. I can't wait for the Miami game. I'm going to be at Miami. I'm going to be at the Tampa Bay game. I'm excited for some golf, too. Seattle game's going to be crazy. I can't wait for that one. I won't be there, but I'm going to enjoy that one. A couple other keys to this game. Again, defensive pressure. Niners have to get defensive pressure on Dalton. We talked about that. Nick Bosa and Fred Warner have been playing really good, but I feel like Nick needs a little bit more help out there on the D-line. They will get Samson Ebicam back this week. I think that'll help. Charles Omenihu, who's been solid over the last – he's been really tearing it up, actually. I feel like those 3 guys are really going to be able to get a lot of pressure on Ebicam. One guy that's been really stepping up here and there when he gets his opportunities, Drake Jackson, the rookie. So I like to see this D-line just come out and dominate and, get that pressure. Because if they get pressure, secondary is going to have an easy day back there. It's going to be fun, though. I hope to see Talanoa Hufanga have, a big game today. He's kind of been either he have, this big game, and then sometimes you just don't hear his name, which is not always a bad thing. But I want to see Hufanga go out there and have, a monster game today. I feel like it could happen. I feel like Hufanga could have one of those big-time games. He got the game, ceiling interception a couple weeks ago. That was awesome to see. early in the game, he got beat on a touchdown and he came back and he made up for that play. So I kind of want to see Hufanga have another nice little big game because I feel as he continues to, it'll really cement him getting that first Pro Bowl of his career. So that's the guy I want to see really step up. X factors for this game again, offense. I think it's gonna be Brandon Ayuk. I think with Debo being, coming into this game with the hamstring issue, we don't know how effective Debo is gonna be. Ayuk's been so consistent this year. He's been a top dog on this team. I just keep seeing every week I see Ayuk. I'm like, man, I just see something so good out of him. I think Ayuk's going to be the guy this week that just goes off. I think he is going to be the major X factor for the offense on the 49ers. And then on defense, I think it's going to be Mooney Ward. I think, all week, him and DeAndre Hopkins, they've been going back and forth on social media talking. He calls DeAndre Hopkins steroid boy. And then D-Hop says, I want to get him in the ring and this and that. I feel like Mooney's got a lot to prove this week. I feel like, you know what? He's going to come out and he's going to really show you, okay, I got this young buck Olave out here. I'm going to insert my dominance and come out and prove I'm a top cornerback. So I feel like Mooney will be the X factor on defense. Not a lot of people have given Mooney credit. He's been a really good secondary cornerback this year for us, actually. He's been really good for us this year. I think he's earned his money, but I think this is going to be a game where Mooney comes out and has a big game. Again, he's been talking a lot, so I feel like he's got to come out this week and have a big game to, back up his talking, So that's who I think is going to be the X factor on defense. Mooney Ward. Guy's been talking a lot this week. Oh, man. So I think he's gonna have a game. I got Mooney Ward having an interception here. Raphael says, "Who's gonna stop Kittle?" I don't know. That's the question. You guys remember 2019 Kittle, 4th down, boom, Kittle. The whole Saints defense couldn't tackle the man. Sets up the game-winning field goal. That 2019 Saints game was an absolute vibe. What a game! Oh man, that was one of the best games ever. One of the best games ever. That was such a good game, man. King Geo, who are they talking smack about? Oh, we talked about at the beginning. Basically, Jeff Wilson Jr. and Raheem Mostert, mainly Raheem Mostert, kind of talking bad about the 49ers and how they ran their organization and things like that. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Again, we opened up the show with that, and that's something we'll definitely talk about a little bit more as the week goes, as we talk about Miami. But Raheem Mostert was definitely frustrated leaving that team. You could tell. He's dramatic, though. He's a dramatic guy. I don't know. Any more questions? We'll go to a couple more questions. I want to keep this one short today. Again, I'm still just recovering from being sick, so I don't want to overwork myself here. Just trying to get back in the show thing. So let's see. A couple more questions. We're going to bounce out. I'll try to make this about a 30-minute live today, and then we'll go out of here. Watch some football. I got some NFL Red Zone to watch before the game today. Kyle will stop Kittle. Honestly, the only person that could stop Kittle is Kyle Shanahan and how he uses him in offense. But it's nice to see him get a lot more involved over the last couple weeks, Ryan says, how am I feeling? I'm feeling a lot better today, man. A lot better. I think I'm probably at about maybe 90%. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm close to 90. But yeah, we're better. We're doing good. King says, I get Jeff Wilson, but Mostert, yeah, he's ungrateful. We paid him 3 years to play 1 year. That's the thing. And see, that's kind of what I was saying is Jeff Wilson, I respect. I like, his comments on the whole situation. I wasn't upset about it because, it is a business and he wanted to continue to prove himself, He was the odd man out, and I felt bad for him. And he helped out as much as he could, even though he had some injuries. He did his thing. He was quiet. But Raheem was always complaining about stuff. Remember when he, like I said, when he complained about his contract, he called out, his agent tweeted out, and they were stomping their feet on the ground. And then he comes, he gets this 3-year extension, and then he didn't even get to play much because he was hurt. And I get it, injuries happen, but come on, dude, don't be slamming the team for your own issues. That you're the one that got hurt. Don't take it out on the Niners. Like, it's not their fault, dude. So, Caleb Williams. Oh, you guys watched some college football yesterday? How about my Michigan Wolverine? What? Let's go, man. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh. Taking out Ohio State back-to-back years for the second time that they beat them. And the crazy part about this game was at the shoot. What a game. JJ, man. That boy stepped up at the biggest stage. Prayers up for the Mostert family. Raheem's son is in the hospital. Well, prayers up. I don't wish any ill will to his family, but Mostert just gotta. He can't be talking like that, man. Can't be talking about that kind of stuff about the Niners. Like, I get it. You're upset. You feel a certain way, but it's not gonna look good on you. How about them boys in the SC? Says Noah. Man, what a game. There was a lot of good games yesterday. What a week of football. Next week's gonna be even wilder. College football championship Saturday next week. Oh man, all the championship games. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm hyped up. I can't wait for the Saints game, man. I'm just so jacked up, man. This is gonna be fun. We haven't been doing too bad lately, and I feel like this team again, they're rolling on a hot streak, man. If we win this game, we're 7-4. We stay in first place in the NFC West. You gotta love it, man. And I think this defense continues to go out there and they're gonna punish. They're gonna punish. They're gonna punish the Saints, man. That's the thing. The Saints. No team. I can say this about probably any team out there. No team plays when you play the 49ers. They've never played a team as physical as us because this Niner team is probably the most physical team in the NFL. Not just on defense, but on offense, man. They'll bloody your nose. They're gonna run you over. You got big Trent Williams. You got freaking Elijah Mitchell running through those gaps and everything. And then you got CMC and Debo, Kittle, man. It's crazy. You got Brandon Ayuk blocking people downfield. Like, this team is wild, man. This team is absolutely crazy. And it's only going to get better because in a couple weeks, Arik Armstead should be back. Real quick news on Armstead. He did return to practice on Friday. That's a good sign. His first time he practiced since week 4. They unfortunately haven't had him in the lineup because of the hairline fracture of the fibula on the left foot and then the right foot plantar fasciitis. But it seems like he's getting closer to coming back, and I'm excited to see Armstead because once he gets back, the D line's going to even be better. So, which is crazy because his D line is scary hours. So, Ryan says Cowgirls are going to get OBJ. I think so too. It's pretty academic. I think he's going to go to the Cowboys, which is ironic because he says ban turf, right? He always tweets about banning turf, and the Cowboys play on turf, kind of like the SoFi Stadium turf, like the new age turf. So, I don't know. It is what it is. You take that for a grain of salt. If he really doesn't want to play on turf and he's going to another team, it wouldn't be Dallas. But we'll see. You take that with a grain of salt. I don't care. OBJ, I'm over the guy. At this point, OBJ is going to sign with the team when it's like the week before the Super Bowl. He's just going to go pick his favorite team or the best team. Like at this point, come on, dude. It's the end of November. By the time you play, you pick up the offense. How much effect is he going to have at this point? I'm over it. If it would have been like 2 weeks ago, okay, cool. Because when he first came to the Rams last year, mid-season, he was a little rusty. He had to kind of figure out the offense, and then he kind of went crazy. This man's playing it out. He's dragging it out. He's dragging that out, man. Just stop. Just leave it. Just sign with the team. It's done. Stop dragging it out. He's being a little dramatic with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't get a content creator answer the question about the backup next year. What's the question? I didn't see it, honestly. I didn't see your question. What's the question, Randy? We'll drop the. I'll see if I can answer it. I haven't seen the question. I haven't been on live all week, so I haven't seen you asking the question. We'll take this as the last question for today, and then I'm going to head off. Let's see. Once you drop it, we'll answer it. Who is the backup next season if Trey gets hurt? Huh, that's a good question. First and foremost, let's hope that Trey doesn't get hurt again next season. I'd cry. I'd be in shambles. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Second off, who knows how the offseason is going to be? There's like 49ers in quarterback situation. you just can't predict it. Like, there's no prediction. We don't even know if Jimmy's going to stay on the team or not. Like, that's one thing, right? We don't even know what the hell's going to happen with Jimmy. Is he going to stay on the team or not? Probably not, right? He's probably not going to stay on the team because they got to use Trey's rookie contract so they can extend Bosa, so they can extend Ayuk and everybody else that needs to get back on the team. Unless Jimmy talks to them boys and say, hey, like, you want me to come back? I'll take a cheap deal, all this stuff. That's the only way. But I think they want to, honor their contract they have with Trey Lance. They went and drafted him, number 3 in the draft, traded a lot of assets. So I think they're going to roll with Trey, And I think Jimmy, again, he's in a contract season right now. He's going out there. He's balling out the best he can. He knows he's going to get a lucrative contract from someone, some team. I feel like the Jets probably are the team that are going to look at him and say, hey, we'll give you the bag. We need a veteran. We got a great defense. Manage this offense and get us far. Win games for us. Robert Salah, Jimmy, they got that vibe. So I think Jimmy goes to the Jets. This is my theory. Who the hell is going to be the backup for the 49ers? Is it Brock Purdy? Is it Baby Bosa? I don't know. I think right now, unless they don't draft a quarterback, unless they don't add a quarterback in free agency, because those are other factors too. They might take a free agency quarterback just in case. They might draft a quarterback just in case, which I don't think they would because they drafted a quarterback this year. But you never know. They might always take a late round guy just to see what they can do, develop, because you're right. They need a backup. At this point right now, if it's just right now, gun to my head, it's Brock Purdy. But if they don't feel comfortable with Brock Purdy, like Kyle always says, they'll always upgrade the roster if they have a chance. So I think they may look at other avenues. If they can't get another, if they don't feel comfortable with Brock Purdy, they'll go look at, whoever's available as a backup. So that's, I guess, the answer. And it's so hard to predict that right now. But we don't even know what the hell's going to happen with Jimmy. So we'll see. Definitely a good question and something we'll be talking about all offseason, man. You're right. No doubt, Randy. That's something, don't even worry about it. That's going to be a topic we're going to be talking about all offseason, man. I already know it. It's going to be a crazy offseason. But before we get to the offseason, Randy, we got to focus today. The New Orleans Saints, let's hope the Niners get this dub. First place, still in the division. First place if they get this dub. 7-4, big dub. You can't look ahead to Miami. We got to get this dub. Niners, I think they're going to win 31-13. I love you guys. I'll see you a little later. I'll go enjoy some Red Zone. Have a good Sunday. Bang, bang. Niner gang.